This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
It's precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. Elections Commission and political parties are to discuss changes to election laws. Love's Gas Company says a ship carrying 3,500 metric tons of gas will reach the country today. The second phase of the first term of schools will commence on Monday. Train services between Colombo Fort and Batticaloa will commence this afternoon. And in world news, Russian forces poised to take Luhansk. And in sports news, Australia A team arrives in the country. Now the local news in detail. A meeting between Elections Commission and secretaries of political parties will take place on Monday. Chairman of the Commission, Nimal Punchiheva, said discussions will be held on changes to election laws. He said party secretaries will be briefed on registering those who have reached 18 years on the electoral register. Ministry of Education says the second phase of the first term of schools this year will commence on Monday. Academic activities of government and government-approved private schools will begin on that day. A program to clean school premises along with dengue eradication programs will be implemented before the commencement of schools. Railway Control Room said train services between Colombo Fort and Batticaloa will commence this afternoon. Accordingly, intercity train from Colombo Fort to Batticaloa will depart at 3:05 p.m. Meanwhile, 2 elephants have died after being knocked down by a train last night at Habarana, Kalugaswawa area. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi60 from Sri Lanka Insurance.
Continuing local news. Director General of Sri Lanka Tea Board Anura Siwadana says that they have been able to normalise to a certain extent tea exports to Russia distributed amid Russian-Ukraine war. However, he said there are some issues when exporting tea to Ukraine. He further said there was a reduction of tea production in the country during the past few months. Aeroflot has suspended commercial flights to Colombo. Aeroflot said in a statement that the decision was prompted by the unfavourable situation as regards guarantees of unobstructed flights of the airline's aircraft to Sri Lanka. The airline has suspended the sale of tickets to Colombo as well. Director General of Forest Conservation Department, KMA Bandara, says that temporary permits to harvest jackfruits in forest reserves will be issued under full supervision of the department. He said such permits are already issued to persons engaged in kittul, bamboo and cane industries. With that, we conclude the local news.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi60 from Sri Lanka Insurance. A health insurance plan to honour our most valued elders by the protectors of the nation. We now give our treasured senior citizens access to the very best medical insurance, specially tailored for anyone over 60. What's more, you don't need medical screening to access this policy. And Medi60 covers a wide range of illnesses. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 0112 357 357.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Love's Gas Company says a ship carrying 3,500 metric tons of gas will reach the country today. The company said those gas stocks will be distributed in the Western Province from Monday. Meanwhile, Litro Gas Company said a ship carrying 2,500 metric tons of gas will arrive tomorrow and thereafter they will commence distribution. However, Litro Gas Company said they would not distribute gas today and tomorrow. That was main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight. A 7-hour water cut will be imposed in Nugegoda and surrounding areas today. The water board said that the water supply will be distributed from 10 p.m. today to 5 a.m. tomorrow. Thereby, water supply will be suspended to Atulkote, Pitakote, Baddagana, Mirihana, Madivela, Talapatpitiya, Udahamulla, Embuldeniya, Nugegoda and Pagoda areas. A water cut will also be imposed from Vijayarama to 7th Mile Post in High Level Road, as well as all connected roads from Nugegoda to the Open University in Navala. That was Watchlight. Moving on to world news. The headlines of the world news. Russian forces poised to take Luhansk. Preparations are underway for the first in-person talks between US and Chinese defense authorities in Singapore. Queen misses Derby, but Platinum Jubilee celebrations continue. Now the world news in detail. Fighters in Ukraine have been trying to beat back the Russian invasion for 100 days. However, they may be about to lose their last stronghold in the eastern region of Luhansk. The governor of Luhansk says an airstrike on a chemical plant damaged a tank of nitric acid. He says the factory is not a military target and that about 800 civilians are hiding in nearby bomb shelters. Video shows a large plume of smoke rising from the plant. Preparations are underway for the first in-person talks between U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Chinese Defense Minister Wei Fenghe in Singapore. The U.S. Defense Department announced that Austin will travel to the city-state to participate in an Asia Security Forum that starts next Friday. Wei is expected to deliver a speech at the conference called the Shangri-La Dialogue. Members of the royal family will attend Platinum Jubilee celebrations across the UK later, although the Queen will miss her second event of the weekend. Buckingham Palace said the Queen has pulled out of the Epsom Derby and will instead watch it on TV from Windsor. The third day of the celebrations will also see tributes from the Prince of Wales and Duke of Cambridge at an open-air concert on Saturday evening. With that, we conclude the world news. Prior to concluding the headlines of the world news once again. Russian forces poised to take Luhansk. Preparations are underway for the first in-person talks between US and Chinese defense authorities in Singapore. Queen misses Derby, but Platinum Jubilee celebrations continue. That ends world news. Moving on to development news. Education Minister Susil Premchandra says that a cultivation drive will be launched at all schools and educational organizations and university premises. He pointed out that there are large spaces in university and school premises. He said Ministry of Education will issue a set of guidelines next week in connection with the cultivation drive. That was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank, we present your future.
Australia A team has arrived in the country this morning. The first one-day international match between Australia A team and Sri Lanka A team will be played at SSC Ground in Colombo on Wednesday. The second match will be played at the same venue on Friday. 2 4-day matches will also be played between the two sides. That was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Lassana Group of Companies has launched a delicious and innovative range of exclusive cookies to the Sri Lankan market under its own proprietary brand La Treats. With the promise of treat yourself, La Treats presently offers 6 unique flavors for cookie lovers to enjoy. All new flavors of freshly baked La Treats cookies are now available to purchase online and at all Lassana showrooms island-wide. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The total revenue earned by all 14 BOI zones and other BOI-related companies last year was around $1,400 million in the first 3 months of 2021, and this year it has increased to around $1,650 million. Secretary, Free Trade Zone Manufacturers Association, Dhammika Fernando, said that the big BOI-based companies have not witnessed major drop in orders and the trend is expected to continue. That was Economic News.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall Gold Award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Moving on to the weather report. Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in Western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts. Several spells of showers will occur in Northwestern Province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in Uva Province and in Ampara District during the evening or night. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. Elections Commission and political parties are to discuss changes to election laws. Love's Gas Company says a ship carrying 3,500 metric tons of gas will reach the country today. The second phase of the first term of schools will commence on Monday. Train services between Colombo Fort and Batticaloa will commence this afternoon. With that, we conclude the news.